Okay, I said that this is section or unit of study will be criminal law. So let's take a look at criminal law. Criminal law affects society as we believe it. It is considered a public wrong. Unlike a civil, which is an individual wrong or a private law, criminal laws affect society, and again, it's considered a public wrong. A public wrong is considered to be against society and not just a victim. You may have a victim of a robbery, however, society has deemed that when people get robbed, homes get broken into, people get murdered, that all of society is brought down with that, and that's how they view it, as a public wrong. Unlike those contracts which do not impact the general community. Okay, so you got a public wrong, which then has legal action taken by the government, i.e. the prosecutor. The prosecutor is an extension of the government, which in turn prosecutes or brings charges and tries you in court for the community on which the prosecutor is working. The state or society is being wronged, as I said, is represented by the prosecutor, otherwise known as a district attorney. And they, again, as I said, would bring action against the defendant. In a civil case, we have a plaintiff versus a defendant. In a criminal case, we now have the victim versus, again, a defendant. When somebody alleges that another party has done something, whether it be civilly or criminally, again, I reiterate, you have a right to defend yourself, and you will be the defendant in court. Okay? We know that in a criminal case, the action of guilt or the findings of guilt will result equals in both incarceration and fines. Remember, in civil cases, you cannot be incarcerated or, in essence, sent to jail or prison. You can only receive penalties that include restitution and fines. However, in a criminal case, not only do you face fines and restitution, you in addition face that incarceration where you will be sentenced. However, unlike the civil case that only requires preponderance of the evidence, in a criminal case, because you face such sanctions as the loss of your freedom by being incarcerated to that jail or prison, because of that, the prosecutor must prove beyond any reasonable doubt, which is much tougher proof than a civil case, that the crime committed, and not only that the crime was committed, but the defendant, who the charges were being brought against, had in fact taken part in that crime. So, again, it's beyond a reasonable doubt when we're speaking about a criminal case. Okay, again, if you are found guilty of that criminal case, you may face a fine, imprisonment, perhaps you will face probation in lieu of an incarceration of imprisonment. Sometimes, don't ask me why, judges will suspend sentences. Maybe there's an illness, maybe it's been a long-term case, maybe something's happened to the victim. I'm not sure why. I wish I knew the answer. But for some reason, maybe you've already spent 2 years waiting for your trial, so the judge will sentence you to 2 years suspended sentence or 2 years time served. And you can, in a criminal trial, face upwards and including death or removal of office. Now, again, in Michigan, we do not have capital punishment, which is death, but we do know in several of the other states we do have capital punishment. And any criminal charge of a felony, you can face the death penalty. Obviously, there are specific crimes for the death penalty, but on the letter of the law and on the books, the death penalty can be implemented for any criminal felony case. Okay, Always remember the basic doctrine of the American criminal justice system. The accused is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Just because you're waiting in jail, waiting for that trial, because you were not allowed to post bond or you could not afford to post bond, you are still presumed innocent when you enter into that trial courtroom for your trial. Okay, so we've now got our ideas between civil law and criminal law. We know the 4 divisions of law, and now in Part D, you will focus on the crime definition, so we know what exactly is a crime.